What is up, Mavs fans and hoop heads? Wish everyone good vibes out there. I'm AG, your host. Welcome on into another episode of Mavs Rundown. Appreciate you for listening. And man, the Mavs get the win against the Utah Jazz tonight, 103-100 at home. Give Utah their third loss of the year. They traded away, they tore down their team. Basically, traded away Donovan Mitchell, Rudy Gobert. And with the pieces they got left and everything, people thought they were just going to be, tanking on you. Well, they had a great start and they put up a great fight. And the Mavericks found out why tonight because they're still a very scrappy team. They still got Conley and Clarkson from last year's team. But then all these other new additions, they're pretty nice just all around squad for them. Really, it's the best way to explain it. They just have a nice all around squad that's they just come to play every night, and they definitely put up a fight against the Mavs tonight. And go ahead and get into it because man, I took a lot of I can't lie, I took a lot of notes. I was so into this game, man. It was of course, it's the Jazz. It's who we put out last season. We made them dismantle their team. Luka made them dismantle their team. And so we go up against them, and some stats actually before the game. Leader of this game, I was going to tell you before. Luka led this game. He had a 33 point game tonight, and that puts him at 5. Oh no, that's the halves. My bad. Wrong stat. Bad podcasting. Before this game, last game, when he had scored 30, I just wanted to mention these stats because I had them down, didn't get to mention them. But he hit the most 30-point halves in the Mavs history. Luka Doncic has 4, and Michael Finley has 2, and Dirk has 2. I just thought that stat was so crazy from last game. Also, most 40-point games, Luka actually is in third right now at 17. Dirk second with 20, and Mark Aguirre at 22. So he's on the heels, and this is the type of year, what type of role he's on, he gets there. Tonight, finished with 33. Didn't quite get there, but more about that 33. Oh, actually, I have a couple more stats about that last game against Magic. I know we want to get into this one. Hold on real quick. Last game against the Magic, he had the most points in Mavs history without a turnover in a game. That's 44 points. He had last game without a turnover. That's the most without a turnover in a game in Mavs history. And he became the first player in NBA history with over 200 points, 50 rebounds, 50 assists in the first 6 games of the season. And he tied his career high in paint points with 26. So yeah, he basically killing it. All right, now back to this game. Let's get right into it. The first quarter, straight up we got outplayed, straight up, and it looked like I wrote down like Seawood out there. I'm thinking when he gets in the game, he's gonna help get us going. And after those McGee minutes, which man, it just he came in the third too, and he just looks bad out there. The energy is just not there for him, like on the defensive end. It's very much DeAndre Jordan vibes on that one because it's so crazy. But in the first quarter, you just see Seawood just look like he was in his own head. Like he was just unsure to be aggressive or just like to make the extra pass to find an open shooter or, make the right play. But we just need him. Hey, man, be aggressive and go get a bucket. Like, that's what we need you to do. And, yeah, of course, they come in double. If you see someone wide open, go ahead. If not, just go be aggressive. Go be, your athletic 6'9" self, long arms, go dunk or, take an aggressive shot, or aggressive move at least and just, go for it. And, that's foreshadowing later on to come. But yeah, in the first quarter, I was already seeing that. I was like, oh, I don't like that. Then we move on to the second quarter. At the end of the second, the Mavs go on a run and finally tie up the game because I didn't say the end of the first quarter stat, but basically the Mavs were down by I think double digits or something like that. And yeah, it was getting that bad. They were just shooting us out the gym. They were making the right plays. Guys just weren't closing out. We were making rotations, but we weren't closing out the lane. And guys were just like able to drive on us, like, as soon as they make like that right extra pass and they get the right lane and the right crease, we didn't have a guy to step up. And again, it seemed like the end of the playoffs last year, the guy to kind of finish the job and finish these rotations up, protect the paint after make all these great rotations and stuff. So that's what I've seen at least in this. And anyway, into the second quarter, Mavs finally go on a run though, and tied up with like a minute left, and then with Luka leading the charge, of course, which I'll get to more on him later on. But then Laurie Markin gets an and one right before the end of the half, so they go up 50-47 at halftime. In the third quarter, man, they start off they go on an 8-2 run. The Jazz do. And we call a timeout, and I wrote a note in there. It's just like with McGee, it just looks so bad without there. Like it's not the energy you're expecting with him. Which I get it, he's 34, but it was just like, man, you're just expecting you can give me just a little bit more energy, like just more effort or something. It's very DeAndre Jordan esque for all the Mavs fans out there. But anyway, so Seawood shows up luckily in the third quarter. Mavs going to run though and make it a 7-point game after going down to double digits. And then Seawood puts on a show. He got back-to-back baskets, and then he had a putback dunk right before the end of the third, made it 76-74, and then like Sexton made a floater right before the buzzer, to end the third. It was 78-74 them, but Seawood was coming into his own, and he carried it over into the fourth. Seawood had like two back-to-back baskets when they first started out the fourth quarter. And the second one was a Spence oop. Spence threw him a oop, and it was nasty. You have to go see the play of that. He drove the lane. Of course, Christian caught it. Boom, tied the game up. It was really dope. And then there was a sequence here I had to write down because I feel like it was a very it changed the game. Like of course because Seawood makes it three, and it makes it 84-83 where we're down only one. And then a couple plays later, Josh Green hits a corner three, and puts us up finally, and we're up 86-84. And then Spencer hits a step back three, makes it 89-84. And then they go down and score one, and then Spence comes back and hits another corner three, 92-86. Like, it was just a great run right there. It was like a Seawood, like the bench. It was kind of like a bench unit led by Spencer, of course, but we're thinking about last year's Smith, but him leading the charge, though, with this bench with Seawood and then having Josh Green on the floor. Can't remember who else was on the floor with them, but it was like a Seawood Spencer takeover with some sprinkled in with some Josh Green, a corner three action. It was a really great sequence with Mavs. We finally took the lead, and then it was like, all right, we kept on the gas and put up a little bit of a margin. That way, Luka could get back in, and he did. He comes in. I think he came in, got him a basket. I don't know how many he scored in the fourth, but he came in, hit some baskets, of course. And then it came down to the end of the game, and it was 100-98, and the Mavs have the ball, and it was just a great swing pass from Luka to Spencer, Luka to Spencer, and then Spencer to Reggie in the corner, and Reggie knocks it down. And I think with it, there was only like less than a minute left. I can't even remember how many seconds were left. It was less than a minute, and Reggie hit this corner three. Here, let me pull it up because I want to know exactly. Now that I'm trying to replay this all by memory in my head, I'm like, how much time was it when he hit that three? It was 30. Okay, it was gonna. Yeah, it's 30 seconds. He makes a three. Makes it 103-98. It was off a nice hockey assist from Luka. Great ball movement by Spencer, getting it to Reggie in the corner, and corner pocket, knocked it down. And so the Jazz end up going down and have the ball with a. Jazz had the ball after Spencer missed a nasty step back too. And they called a timeout with 3 seconds left because Colin Sexton had scored for them, made it 103-100. And then Spencer Dinwiddie comes down, he's shaking bakes on his guy. He gets a nasty crossover. If you go back to the replay, he gets him. He's open for the shot. So I was honestly okay with the shot because I thought it was gonna go in because he got him good, and then he was wide open for the pull up, and he just pulled it a little bit short. It comes off. They get the ball. They go down. They finally called a timeout with 3 seconds left, and then they get it into Jordan Clarkson, who's in the corner with 3 seconds left, and Cleveland's all over him, contests him, misses it, and Mavs win 103-100, as I said. And man, what a game! Specifically, if we're talking about, we'll get to Luka in a second. I know that he's the main man, but I want to give a shout out to Seawood tonight, man. Almost missed the game with a illness we don't know about, but he almost they were he was questionable before the game. Then all of a sudden he showed up and he was available, and glad to see him show up because 17 points in the second half, y'all, tonight. He had 17 in the second half. That's big time right there because he finishes as basically he had the TV interview, so basically that's like player of the game almost, damn near. And Seawood goes for 21 and 10, a nice double double night for him, getting back on track, like looking like the first 3 games again. He was 10 of 15 from the field, 1 of 5 from three. Again, 10 rebounds, only 3 turnovers. So you want to see that a little bit lower, but hey, man, we'll take it. Uh, Great stuff by him. He said even after the game, they were Luka said he made it a a thing, a statement, I guess. I don't want to say a statement, but he made sure, he said, he was trying to feed him tonight on purpose. He was trying to make it, for sure to try to get him to rock a little bit more, get him involved or whatever. And that, that's good. They should be doing that. And I thought in the first minutes, or in the first half, was it the first half? No, the second half. At the end of the game, maybe he should have been in the game, but again, we really trust Maxey on the offensive end. We handled business just like last year, and we're able to find the open three, which will end up being the corner pocket by Reggie, and the offense look fine even with Seawood out. So it's just a nice closing lineup. Hopefully Seawood can earn the trust and learn these rotations and really put some effort in on the defensive end, so he can be in these closing lineups. No disrespect to Maxey, but would love to see some Seawood out there, making maybe a corner pocket three or something like that. That would be really dope. But yeah, so the Mavs come out and get a nice victory tonight against a very scrappy Utah Jazz squad. So hey, a win's a win. It's ugly, but hey, we'll get the dub. Now we'll go into my man Luka. Luka, man of the night. 33 points, 5 rebounds, 11 assists, 2 steals in this game. He was 12 of 20 from the field. Really good shooting. 2 of 6 from 3 and 7 of 10 from the free throw line. So good stuff from him, just leading the charge out there. I hope that this isn't putting too much pressure on him for the end of the season. I know it's going to look good for his MVP numbers, but I feel like the sooner they can make a trade for a third ball handler, which of course they'll probably have to play the waiting game now, just for the whole GM sake. They're probably not going to want to start trading guys till closer to, like a December, January-ish, if not February, wait until the trade deadline to trade somebody that could really help this team just get another solid ball handler, because I just don't want to see Luka getting worn out, having to like dig us out of games or carry us through these games when some guys just aren't showing up where you just exactly want to. And hey, it is what it is, and we'll come away with the victories as they go. But hopefully he don't wear down by the end of the season. I know he's young, but hey, I don't want to have him depleted by playoff time. 35 minutes tonight for him, and 35 for Spencer Dinwiddie, who also put in a 20-piece tonight. He had 20 points, 4 rebounds, 5 assists, and 4 steals. And he hit in his 35 minutes. He only had 1 turnover tonight, so that's really good. He was a +9 tonight, so that's really good. Luka in his 35 minutes compared to him, to Spencer compared to Luka. Luka had his 5 turnovers, which of course Luka's handling a lot more. But hey, good for Spencer. The same amount of minutes and only 1 turnover. That's pretty good. And the Bang Bros did good tonight. They only had 4 points by Dodo. Reggie only had 3 points. His only 3 points was the corner three. Hey, that's all that matters. He made the one. He was 1 of 4 tonight, and that 1 3 that he made was the corner pocket to kind of put the game away. So, hey, make the ones that count, right? And then Dodo, of course, played great defense out there. As always, 1 steal and a block in the stat sheet, 2 rebounds, but yeah, he's all over the place. of course. McGee's minutes, of course, he only had 8 minutes. 4 points, 2 rebounds, a steal, and that's it. No blocks. That sucks. Only two rebounds. It's just, man, it's just not good enough, man. He's the only one not even playing double-digit minutes. It's just they're having to call in Dwight Powell again for energy minutes tonight. Taking McGee out early and putting in Christian Wood, but then also Dwight Powell as well. Of course, along with Kleba coming in as the bigs too, but basically replacing any big McGee minutes with Dwight Powell in there, who's good, who's doing well in his role. He was actually a plus 25 tonight in his 19 minutes. That's crazy. Had 9 points, 5 rebounds, had a steal and a block. He's just the energy he brings on both ends is just man. If we just got that from McGee, this team would be crazy good. But great stuff by Dwight Powell to come in and do that. And of course, I've already mentioned this, Christian Wood and his 21 and 10 night. Kleba, 25 minutes, didn't score, but had 5 rebounds and assists, 2 blocks. I think he had one of the nasty blocks where someone tried to go up for a dunk or something. I can't remember what. I think it was the second half, and someone got it. It was really nice. Tim Hardaway tonight was not on his Tim Hardaway stuff. This is one of the low end Tim Hardaway games. 1 of 9 field goal, 1 of 6 from three, only 3 points, 1 rebound, 2 assists. So not that good of a night for him out there. But notice he was out there for some defensive possessions at some point. Not at the very end of the game, but I think it was like the first half or something. They had him in there, but he's done pretty well this year. I'll give him that. I've been watching him, seeing how he moves, and rotation wise, it seems like he's good. We just gotta keep people from driving on us all the time. Like it's one thing to try and keep them in front of you, but don't just let them get all the way to the rim. Like it's getting kind of ridiculous. Josh Green, almost don't want to forget him, man. Great stuff from him tonight. 2 threes. He was 2 of 3, of course, from three. That was his only 3 shots, but he knocked down 2 of them, and one was big. Of course, I mentioned that one in the fourth quarter. I think his three, was the one that gave us the lead. Yeah, his corner three gave us the lead, 86-84. So good stuff by him. Good clutch fourth quarter three, showing some growth. Just want to see some more of it. 19 minutes though, so and he's getting only the shots he can get. So but hey, he's doing work this year. So good stuff from him. Good stuff by the whole team. Shot 50% from the field, only 28% from three. So the 3-point numbers down. But hey, man, we were doing really well field goal wise, getting to the paint, getting to the line tonight. See, I was even. They had 14, we had 15. Damn, we only shot 53% from the free throw line tonight. That's unacceptable. We got to start. 8 of 15, but we got to knock down these free throws. But luckily, we shot. The field goals percentage was way better. Looking through the stat sheet real quick. Other stuff I wanted to note. Assists, they definitely had the assists. They were playing like a good team. They really were played like a well balanced team tonight. I give them props. That's why they had a 6-2 start before us, and now a 6-3 start. They're very scrappy, so props to them. Let me see anything else. They had 17 turnovers to our 12. That's gonna hurt. Nothing else. Points in the paint. Mavs 60. Mavs scored 60 points in the paint on the Jazz compared to the Jazz scored 48. So, Mavs were living in the paint tonight. It's a little bit different when they don't have Rudy over there. Lauri Markkanen's definitely a different 7-footer than that. But, hey, man, Mavs come back from 15 down at least as much as 15, which I think that was in the third quarter before they went on another run tonight. Or maybe that was in the first half. But either way, down 15, come back. Either way, win this game. Good stuff by the Mavs. I'm happy camper because hey, sometimes you just gotta fight. Fight these. They're a good team. This isn't just like the loss to the Thunder. The loss to the Thunder was just unexpected. They weren't on any type of good run, and they just kind of whooped our butts. But Utah, they're actually been on a good little run. They start the season good. As I said, they're scrappy. So it's expected for them to, put up a fight. If you're watching basketball, you knew they were going to put up a fight. And so good for the Mavs. Pick up this dub against them. Should beat the teams we're supposed to, and that's what we did tonight. So now we move on. We're 4-3. Good stuff. Didn't even mention Luka stuff because I just went right over that. But Luka okay, so Luka scored 33 points tonight, and I went over his stats and stuff. But he is the first player since Wilt Chamberlain in the 59-60 season to score 30 plus points in his first 7 games. That passes Michael Jordan. So Luka doing big fucking things tonight, man. He is doing things no one's seen since the 80s, yo. Since MJ in 86. That's the season everyone talks about now. I'm sure you heard the stat when he averaged 36. So, Luka's on pace to definitely average over 30 right now. So, just putting up crazy stats right now. Something we haven't seen in a long, long time. So, just appreciate the greatness while you are. And then for any other outside haters on him, just remember he's only 23. So, he's got room to grow, if that even makes sense and can calculate in your mind of how this guy can get even better. But according to everything else, according to time, he will get better and better. So good to see him shining his greatness again. I think he's on the MVP track season. I just hope they get him help in time so he's able to rest a little bit more in the second half to get his legs ready for the playoffs, and hopefully we get him some help again as another solid ball handler. I'm going to keep saying that probably on every pod because, again, it just shows every game. If it doesn't show in a game, then I'll say it. But to me, every game I've seen, it just seems like we're relying on him a whole lot to either get us back in the game or, get us out of, or just keep the lead or just basically do everything. You already know, after a long time, even though he's young, he's gonna wear down and it's gonna be too much. We've seen it with James Harden. James Harden was really you can't say that he wasn't in his best shape back in his Houston days. He was in really good shape, and he even wore down after doing what he did. So it's gonna be the same thing for Luka Doncic in an early age, just now learning how to get in shape and stuff. So it's going to be a very different thing if we can get some help in there to help ease that fatigue off him. Because man, he's being Superman right now, but I don't want to see him wear down, turn Clark Kent by playoff time with heavy legs and stuff, and where he can't get by stuff and all that stuff. So, but anyway, next game Friday, November 4th. It's at home, another home stand. We have 2 more games at home. And this next 2 games are going to be tough, man. Next one's against Toronto on Friday. It's at 7:30. That one's going to be a good one, man. Toronto's really good. They got a lot of length. They're really a lot of two-way guys out there. And they can, beat any team, honestly, on any given night. They've proven that too. And then on Monday, November 7th, we're at home. Our second game that I was talking about, we play Brooklyn again, the Nets. And maybe by then they'll have their new coach, Udoka. And so we'll see all that unfold. Probably one of their first games together. So that's crazy. And that'll be an 8:45 tip-off game. I don't know why it's such a later start time here in Dallas, but that's weird. But anyway, so yeah, those are the next 2 games. So good. These were supposed to be the tune-up games, and the Mavs go 2-1, which of course we'll let that OKC slip away. But we handled business with Orlando and Utah, and now we go back to play Brooklyn again, who we played on October 27th. We went to overtime and got a win, 129-125 over them. So hopefully, we got them coming up. So we don't want to overlook Toronto, though. Toronto's going to be nice. But these next 2 games, man, is really going to see where the Mavs are at against really good competition. So let's see what they do. Let me see. Anything else I got in my notes? Nope. I pretty much said everything. Yep. So, if you want to follow on Twitter, it's at Mavs_rundown. This Mavs Rundown is free on YouTube, and it's on Spotify and Anchor app. I'm AG. Thanks for listening. And remember, cool heads prevail, and I'll see y'all next time on the Mavs Rundown.